All four prosecutors in the Roger Stone case have resigned or withdrawn from the case and resigned to a controversial decision from the Justice Department. Last night, the prosecutors released their sentencing recommendation for Roger Stone, President Trump's former advisor, who was convicted on several charges.
They suggested Stone should get 7 to 9 years behind bars. And today, after an angry tweet from the president, the Justice Department said the recommendation was excessive and was rescinded. One by one today, the prosecutors announced their decisions.
Joining us now is former Assistant U.S. Attorney David Weinstein. He's now a lawyer in private practice with the Hinshaw Law Firm. And David, let me ask you this. You're a former federal prosecutor. I'm assuming you never found yourself in a situation like this, but if you did, what would you have done?
Same thing that these four prosecutors did. They wrote a pleading yesterday that set out what they believed was the appropriate punishment. And it was a severe punishment, and it was at the top end of the guidelines. And they believed that that was what was deserved in this situation. And today, they heard from the Department of Justice that they were going to back off from that. And so instead of agreeing to abide by this new direction, they just stepped away from the case.
So a senior DOJ Department of Justice official says department leadership wasn't aware of this recommendation by prosecutors and thought it was excessive. Is this normal? Is this sort of back and forth normal?
Well, it's not normal at all, because you have to look at where this case was brought. It was brought by the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Columbia. It was handed off to them by the special prosecutor. It had nothing to do with Main Justice per se. There was no one who was there that was leading this, so it would work its way up through the channels at the U.S. Attorney's Office in the District of Columbia. And you're given a fair amount of autonomy with your cases, and your supervisors don't have to read everything you write, but that's what these prosecutors felt was appropriate. Now, when I looked at it the first time, 7 to 9 years seems a bit much. Yes, he did obstruct and he did threaten a witness, but 7 to 9 years, that seems to be a high sentence. And these days, the department is looking for some serious sentences in all of their cases. I felt perhaps maybe a 5-year sentence is more appropriate, because you're also going to consider Stone's conduct outside of the courtroom. He disobeyed directions of the judge, and up to the judge to decide what to sentence. But for them to come back today and say not only are those guidelines too high and we were wrong, but the pleading that they wrote today was more along the lines of something I would write as a defense attorney, suggesting that enhancements shouldn't imply, and that my client was ill and old and his sentence should be far less, and citing cases, Kimbrough and Gall and other cases that I cite all the time as a defense attorney, to get a judge to recognize that he or she should impose a sentence outside the guidelines. That's not something the Department of Justice normally writes. This is just bizarre to me and something completely out of the ordinary.
Well, it happened after President Trump tweeted that he thought these recommendations were excessive. Does it something smell fishy to you?
Well, it certainly seems that his tweet directed the Department of Justice to now look at something that they hadn't been involved with whatsoever, and then retract what was written by these four prosecutors and what they believe was right. Circumstantially, it appears to me to be the only thing that's changed from last night's filing and this afternoon's filing.
Does this say anything about the balance of power here and the checks and balances within our system? And what kind of precedent does it set?
It's a very bad precedent, and it seems that the checks and balances are not working. We have separate branches of government. We have the executive, we have the judicial, we have the legislative, and they're there to keep each other in check and to make sure that there's a balance there, and that this democracy runs the way that it was set up to run by our forefathers several hundred years ago. For the White House's comment to then cause a direct influence, and again, it's circumstantial, there's no direct proof of it, but it sure seems that way, to now direct that these prosecutors change their recommendation, and they didn't and wouldn't agree to do it. If you look at what was signed, it was submitted by an assistant U.S. attorney out of the D.C. office. These four prosecutors want nothing to do with this new recommendation.
Okay, and to be clear, Roger Stone was convicted on 7 charges related to Russian interference in the 2016 election. They involved lying under oath, obstruction of Congress, and tampering with a witness. And you mentioned the sentencing guidelines. This is how what prosecutors do. They look at these guidelines and they weigh different factors: his age, his record, other factors that may come into play, and they come up with these numbers. They don't get these numbers out of thin air.
Well, we get them out of this book. It's called the U.S. Sentencing Guidelines Manual. And for the most part, you get certain points for the offense of conviction, for any enhancements. And in this case, they wanted to imply 2 enhancements that were worth 8 points and 2 points that really jacked his guidelines up. But they felt that they were righteous enhancements and they should be applied. Defense disagreed with them. They felt that the only enhancements that should apply were far less severe. They proposed a sentence of 15 to 24 months under the guidelines. The government was saying that, no, it was this 87 to 109. Now they're recalculating and say it's more in the year of about 3 to 4 years if we get rid of some of these enhancements. The age and everything else, those are factors that the judge considers at the time of sentencing. And keep in mind, she's the one who's going to decide. He could still get 7 to 9 years, despite what the government's now said they're really looking for.
And that'll happen on February 20th. David, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
We'll be right back.